So this expedition was focused on highly susceptible coral species to stony coral tissue disease. That is a disease that has been killing corals very, very fast in the last 10 years in the Caribbean, but specifically in the Bahamas in the last 5 to 6 years. So the idea was to collect some fragments of these corals so we can have some of the genetic diversity and hopefully save them in the future through restoration processes.
So my role on this expedition is to keep the corals alive on the boat, design a little system just to have free-flowing water through the system, keep the corals alive, feed them twice a day, and treat them if we need to. So the system is just coolers we put together with some lines we hooked into the saltwater washdown just to wash through, get the water from the ocean. Just checked the temperature multiple times a day to make sure we didn't have any spikes or anything going in different areas. So the reason why we keep the water flowing on them is because just to keep them pretty much the same area where they were before. They need specific nutrients, just like everything else. They are animals, so they do need to get fed, just like everyone else. We're just trying to give them the best chance to live and give them nice and strong so when we go to put them on the nursery, they'll at least have something to fall back on.
One of the surprises, especially at the beginning of the trip, was the disease has spread to all Andros, like to the south. Yeah, it wasn't in the south a little over a year ago. Now it's already in the south, so it's spread all over the reef in Andros, and that was a surprise. The other surprise was there is this species that we really like, this coral, that is not very common, and of course we are focusing on the species that are not very common, and now they're being affected by the disease, and finding a place. It used to be like the paradise of this coral, and that was a surprise. In a way, it was good to see that there used to be so many of these species, because it's one coral that is very rare, but the sad thing is that most of them are dead. We collected 14 genotypes, and that is huge. That is a really good number. And genotypes is like different colonies, so they are genetically different. And that is what we are focusing, like we want to have genetic diversity. Our plan for the near future is to be able to reproduce them sexually, so we have more coral babies, they have higher genetic diversity, and we can use them to repopulate the areas where they used to be. We have in total, I'm gonna say about 6 species. For some, we just have a couple of colonies, especially because we want to know how they do when you bring them from their environment to another place, to keep them like in nurseries. Some corals do very well and some others they don't. So we'll see how it goes. I hope that what we're doing here is something that will save local extinction. I don't know if we're gonna make it. The diseases all over the place, the corals that we keep, they get disease, they die, but hopefully we will have some corals that will survive, and then we will be able to reproduce, and with that we will save them from local extinction. We're very far still to recover the species populations, but this is the first step. So when you talk about coral reefs, you talk about like high biodiversity, and that high biodiversity means that you have many different species and organisms, and they all like kind of live in a place, and they will help you provide other things. Like coral reefs provide fisheries. They have about 25% of all the fisheries around the world, and 25% for an ecosystem that is only covers 1% of the earth. That is huge. And from these resources, like fisheries, depends millions of people. The other thing is the protections that they provide to hurricanes and storms, big waves, all the beautiful sand beaches that we enjoy in the Bahamas, that comes from coral reefs. So there are many different things that they provide to us that we depend on too. So if we lose them, we'll be just really slowly collapsing the economies of many countries like the Bahamas. All the projects that I've been involved working with SeaKeepers have been amazing, because then they gave us the platform so we can work from a boat. And this is a game changer, especially in a place like the Bahamas, that you have all these really far away reefs that you have to go to. So you have to just like kind of go for a couple of days on the vessel, and then you start going to the different sites. Diving from a boat when you are sleeping and eating is so much easy, because you just have to wake up, gear up, jump in the water, do everything, come on the boat, change tanks, get some water, jump again, and you can do so much more than if you are inland and you have to rent a boat. It's just like kind of waking up, getting everything on the boat, go out. You can do probably half of the work that you can do from big vessels. So for us, for me, has been a game changer, especially for projects like this. So for us, has been amazing. Like I want to take this to other places, not only the Bahamas, hopefully Colombia in the future, so we can do things in other places in the same kind of way. Renting or chartering a boat like this, if you don't have a partnership with an organization like SeaKeepers, it's so expensive that researchers, we won't be able to afford it. So these kind of partnerships are key for the success of our projects.